What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Four Plot Podcast. What's going on? It's another Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and some other streaming services that I'm sure we're hitting through this program that we use. But we're here tonight with my man, Eric. Eric, what's up?
What's up, fellas? It's nice to be back on the ground and on reliable internet and audio.
Not in a plane, bro.
Not in a plane.
Not in a plane. And then, of course, to my left, as always, we have Mr. Trevor Easterling. How's it going, pal?
It's nice to have you home, but I'm sure like getting served like drinks and peanuts and stuff while you were doing a podcast wasn't horrible.
No, I felt like royalty.
Yeah, it's more than we can offer you, that's for sure. I'm sorry.
We have no peanuts for you.
We don't have any peanuts for you at all. So
whenever I'm home, you better have peanuts for me.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I want to have these peanuts. Do you like boiled peanuts, Eric?
You know, I never got into boiled peanuts. I was always dry roasted, man.
Well, you're an Alabama boy. I know you love some boiled peanuts.
God, the smell of boiled peanuts makes me just salivate. Like when I go into a gas station,
so good.
But I'm a spicy boiled peanut.
Yeah,
guy.
Cajun.
I like the spices. So yeah, Cajun, I guess would be the correct term.
So good.
Looking for a place to put this keyboard. It's just gonna wind up back here. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's another Thursday night. Glad to have everybody back here with us. We always like to start this podcast with an easy question, which is, what have you been playing? So, Eric, let's start with you, man. What's going on? What have you been playing this week?
Biggest thing this week is I jumped into the first of 2 of the Halo Infinite test flights. Next one starts tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow goes through Sunday. So this was my first time getting into it. I guess last time there wasn't a true multiplayer component to it. You were just playing against bots. So it was nice to see all of these things in action and be able to feel it out, see what game mechanics are going to be like. And boy, I got to tell you, this is going to be so different, but I think it's going to work very well.
Oh yeah, man! Super excited.
How quickly did it take you to just ruin everybody's day?
First match,
because you're Eric is he'll never brag on himself, but he's just a very, very good multiplayer.
Yeah, absolutely,
especially in Halo.
So what's exciting about it is if you're listening to this podcast or if you're watching the video right now and you don't have a code for that beta, the cool thing is when they sent out the Halo Infinite invites for the flight this weekend, everybody got a friend code. Did you guys see that? So yes, you have a code that you can send to a friend that they can download and be in the experience. So probably the closest thing we'll get to an open beta before the game comes out, December 8th, right?
Yes, very soon.
We're 2 months out.
No, it's going to be good. We have 2 months to go through every Halo campaign. We've only been talking about doing it for 2 years, and we've yet to do it. So
we just have to put them on easy so that we can actually get through the story.
Yeah. We should stream it. We should do a stream scenario.
Like a let's play. Absolutely,
like a let's play. It'll be fun.
I want to do the Reach campaigns now that you can be, Thor.
Yes.
When there's so many cool.
Did season 8 drop yet? I haven't checked.
Yeah. See, so have you been seeing people screenshots and like videos?
Well, I've seen screenshots because people like my buddy Adam, he got into the flight essentially for the season 8, but has season 8 actually dropped? Because as of like a few days ago, it was not out yet.
Oh no, I don't think the season has dropped yet. But yes, those people that are in the flight, they're starting to unlock everything.
Yeah. Very cool.
Gosh, so cool.
Very awesome. What about you, Trevor? What's been going on, man? What have you been playing?
Dude, I couldn't be happy to report, man. I've been playing Destiny with you.
Oh man, you outed me. And this could cause a lover's quarrel here because Eric's been very disappointed in me. I have gotten back into Destiny. It's been one of those things. I got sucked back in by the fact that quite literally Eric was on a business trip and didn't have time for me, and so therefore I had to go play with other people, and none of my friends played anything but Destiny.
Cheating out of convenience. Okay, I understand.
Out of convenience, really. That's just not wrong that way, right? If you cheat out of convenience.
Oh no.
Well, you weren't around. What was I supposed to do?
I had to go hang out with somebody, Eric. You left me lonely. So that's
Destiny's always the other woman.
Yeah, it is always. That's I've been playing a little bit Destiny, and that's really been it. I finished Miles Morales Spider-Man. So I've been playing Destiny, and it's been fun.
Dude, how'd you like Miles Morales?
It was really good. The Miles Morales Spider-Man game was
How
super
long
good.
was it?
It wasn't as long as the base game, and there's no DLC because they're working on Spider-Man 2.
I've heard like the environments and everything were just like top notch.
Oh yeah, man, it was really good. They figured out the loading, so basically, like in the because it was like they were when it first came out, they're like, oh, look how fast the PS5 loads. Other than if I died, which was very few times.
Sure.
Pro show. There were no load screens. So even going like from bases, it was a trick they used to where to get out of every single base you were in, you had to crawl through like air vents. And I think it gave the game enough time to load as you were crawling through this very simplistic, pixelated environment. I don't know. People like Jeff would know more about how that works than I do. But
you should make a Spider-Man game where every time you die, to make it lore accurate, you come back as a different Spider-Man from the multiverse.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That's kind of what Destiny's been fun. I'll tell you, it's been fun. It's been frustrating at times, as always. Here's my thing with Destiny. We said this in our Facebook thread, but let's just share with the world. The thing with Destiny that's hard for me is that the time put in versus the rewards you reap is tough for me. Now, I don't reap any rewards from like Rainbow Six, right? Like I play that for hours, and I don't. There's no. I mean, the Rainbow Six unlock system is awful. I mean, like the credits and it's just like, my God, that game's been out for 5. Think about this, Eric. That game's been out for 5 or 6 years now. And the amount of stuff I've unlocked, 0.2% of what's available because you just don't get enough credits it's like nothing's affordable. So
that slow drip, man.
But you're also not hampered by not having those things. Whereas Destiny, you're behind the 8 ball if you are not keeping up and doing raids and strikes and all that and making sure that your light level is up.
And that's true. That's a great point.
I will say this though. Not that this whole podcast is about Destiny tonight. But I will say that part has changed. And I know we were talking about it on Facebook, and now's not the time to continue our quarrel. But that part of the game has changed to where like I jumped in with nothing. You start at 1100 now, light level, and I was able to do a raid. I raided and was able to contribute, right? And I think the raids you got to be 1100. 1200, which I think is pretty easy to get your character up to 1200.
Yeah, it's very, very, it goes really quick.
And then Vault of Glass is what, 1450? Is it 13 or 1400?
Hey, Eric, do you remember how you used to, and I'll make this quick, you remember how you used to have to play the raids and get drops from the raid to get above like the hard cap?
Yeah, there was like that 300 cap, and then only raid gear could get you to 310 or whatever it was.
Exactly. So they call that the pinnacle cap now. And you can get pinnacle drops from literally doing pretty much anything in the game weekly. So
cool.
So like I'm almost to like the max level of like this season, and it only started about 5-6 weeks ago. That's awesome. You only have to go up about 10 light levels. And I finally got like my dream shader in the game from doing Last Wish with you guys the first time that you played it. Dreaming Spectrum. So now it's the perfect Destiny loop. I got everything I wanted. Now I'm not going to play anymore.
Yeah.
Until next season.
Right when I started playing, Trevor's not going to play anymore.
No, I'm just kidding.
We know that's a lie.
I know our buddy Andrew's super upset. He's on a vacation right now with his wife, and he's been begging.
Oh yeah, he's feeling the heat.
He's been begging me to play, or come on, man, it's fun. And then I jump in literally the 2 weeks he's out of town.
Yeah,
and
you'll be sick of it when he comes back.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into the show tonight. I'm super excited. We have a brand new game we're going to play a little bit later, but first we are going to have fun talking about this next segment. Guys, are you ready?
Oh yeah,
it's brand new, hot off the presses. Let's do it.
Games from the Multiverse.
Oh yes, we're talking games from the multiverse. Now I got to be honest, I prepped no one on this podcast, so you don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so let's describe it not only for you guys but for the listeners. We are going to be taking a look at some games, all right, that got changed dramatically in development. All right, we're going to be talking about some games that in development they were going one way and then they completely took a left turn.
I'm already prepared.
Well, tonight this is not one of them, but for example, I'll give you 2 examples. Did you know that Borderlands was originally not a cartoony, over the top, like tongue-in-cheek sarcasm game, but it was like a serious, the first teaser, you can find it on YouTube. The first teaser for Borderlands was this very serious, dark, like
Mad Max post-apocalyptic,
like
still,
Mad Max, still had the psychos and the bandits and the creatures, but it was like realistic. It was more like a Rage or a or like one of those.
Interesting.
Games.
Very interesting.
And then they changed it to what it is, which is completely different. So
more like Brink.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that game?
Well, yeah. Destiny was one of those games too, where it was like supposed to be like fantasy, right? It's supposed to be.
It was originally supposed to be a fantasy game, like a Dragon Age type game.
Yeah, like a Dragon Age type game. So, so I've got some that you may not know here, and we're going to talk about these games that, you know what, multiverse is the idea that choices that we make split the universe, right? And it goes into different multiverses. So like if
that checks out.
Yeah, it checks out. I mean, I believe it, right?
It's good hard science.
Somebody's been reading Stephen Hawking.
I have,
and it
lots
shows
of it. I have. I big fan. So the multiverse is one of those things that it splits and it goes in different ways. So what if these games would have been created? We're going to talk about them right now, starting with What If, which by the way, great show on Disney Plus. If you're not watching What If, which kind of inspired this. Have you seen What If on Disney Plus?
No, I have not.
Oh my!
But I do love cell shaded cartoons.
Okay, What If is basically the Disney Plus multiverse cartoon.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen the trailer for it. Is T'Challa Star-Lord in this?
Yes,
What If?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like an anthology of different Star Wars. Different Star Wars. Different Marvel things. Okay, here's our first What If. Right, let's talk about it. What if Batman Arkham Asylum was rhythmic and in 2D? You got that right. The famous Dark Knight was almost going to see a 2D release in a rhythmic fashion. The developers and designers created Batman Arkham Asylum as a rhythmic action game during its earliest production. The second prototype focused on creating it in a 2D fighting sequence, and of course they dodged a bullet by not doing that. What would a Batman rhythmic game? Because when I think rhythmic game, I mean I think of like
Guitar Hero.
Well, I even think of Crypt of the Necro Dancer on Switch, where it's like you have to like rhythmically push the directional buttons to go back. How would you even do that?
So it's Batman, but it's Paper Mario Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, something like that.
There was a game not long ago, and I know it was in production. I don't know if it ever actually came out, but the idea was kind of similar. Think along the lines of Doom. It basically was Doom, just first-person shooter, but it was all just rhythm based, and so the more that you lined up your shots and your kills along with the rhythm, the higher score you actually got.
Pistol Whip. It's a VR game.
There was a different one though. There was
not Pistol Whip. Then
no, that definitely is a thing. But there's one I'm thinking of, and I'll figure it out. But yeah, similar concept. I just don't know how you really apply that to a 2D game.
I don't know how you would have done that with a Batman game. I mean, can you imagine if they'd have been like, "Hey guys, here's this killer bat." Dude, think about how good Arkham Asylum is, and how it was going to be a rhythmic game. And I wish they went further into detail in this article about what it was actually going to do, because I just can't even imagine that concept.
So I will say, because I've played, my fair share of the Shadow games, and I know that those are the combat is loosely based off the Arkham games.
Yeah.
You do have to like sort of time your combos rhythmically.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So that's part of that element kind of stayed in the game.
Yeah. I guess when I think
rhythmic 2D though, like a side scroller.
By the way, I found the game that I was thinking of. It's called Bullets Per Minute, and it did come out last year, but it looks like it is. It's on a PlayStation, Xbox, Windows. So yeah, I might have to go back and give that a visit.
That is very clever.
Bullets per minute, I like it. So I don't know. I don't know what this would have looked like 2D. I can't even imagine. I mean, Arkham Asylum, definitely one of my favorite games. That whole series, minus Arkham. What was the one? What was the one that was not done by Rocksteady? It was done by like Warner Brothers Montreal.
We should post the clip of Will raging,
losing it on Arkham Knight,
absolutely losing his ever-loving mind on Arkham Knight during the tanks.
It's the last thing you do. It's the last battle. You have to fight. So basically,
one of my all-time favorite videos I've ever seen.
Basically, GCPD is under attack, and you have to go in your Batmobile and destroy all these tanks that the Arkham Knight has released. To attack the GCPD, and it's. So basically you're building up power-ups the entire time. Is like if you take down tanks, because they're like 1 or 2 shot vehicles,
and it gives you better weapons,
but there's like 100 of them, right? And so it gives you all these awesome, because you're like, it's really unique how they did the Batmobile. Like you're like strafing and dodging bullets. You can go side to side and all kind of stuff like that. But you get power-ups. So basically the more tanks you take out, you get these like rocket shots. You can take out 10 at a time. But if you get hit once, you lose it. You lose all your power.
Or in the words of Will, they go away.
Dude, I sent this rant to my friends, just losing my mind.
I love that video so much.
Yeah, I need to find that video. That's been a long
time.
It's
on my phone.
Yeah.
I have it. I'm ready to go.
Hey, you know what? I still have a voicemail of Trevor. He was not being funny. He was pretending to be me, but was actually raging at Mortal Kombat, the Kronika fight.
Oh my gosh,
at the end of the game.
That was an annoying fight.
Kronika fight is so annoying. You can't use any final the crushing blows. You can't use any it's like you just have to fight.
No power-ups or anything.
And she can like freeze you and rewind you and all kind of stuff.
She's got like three phases.
That is OP.
Awful.
All right, here we go. Here's your next one.
I like
Games from the multiverse. What if GoldenEye 64 was a rail shooter? All right. You ready for this?
Wow.
GoldenEye was not only one of the best games available for the Nintendo 64, but also the first truly great first-person shooter designed specifically for a console. Yet, this most beloved of all first-person shooters almost wasn't a first-person shooter at all, but a rail blaster inspired by Virtua Cop. According to Rare programmer Martin Hollis, it was the release of Mario 64 that inspired the team to try something other than a scripted shooter. What could have been just another video game license instead became one of the most fondly remembered games of the 90s, and for a long time the yardstick which all other console shooters were judged. Here's the quote from Hollis. It said, talking about Mario 64, "I guess it came out midway through our development and it was amazing." That was his quote. It's like, okay. So
That's
basically,
awesome.
you would have imagine the travesty of GoldenEye 64 as a Virtua Cop arcade rail shooter.
Total missed opportunity.
Total missed opportunity.
We never would have gotten the real game, which is find the AK-47 that looks like a colored pencil.
So, fun fact from our friend Jack here: Martin Hollis is now working on the new Time Splitters. For what it's worth, is Time Splitters? Is that like a rail shooter?
It is a rail shooter. So you know the one, when you'd go into arcades and you had that rail shooter, you'd step on the pedal and that's how you duck down. That.
Like Chrono Trigger and stuff, right? Like no, not Chrono Trigger. What's it called?
No, it's Time Splitters.
Time Crisis.
Oh, Time Crisis. You're right.
Time Crisis is what I'm.
Chrono Trigger is a turn-based
That's a turn-based strategy. Totally not. These guys don't know what they're talking about. So Time Crisis, Time Splitters, I'm not sure. Maybe Jack can fill us in a little bit later. If you're watching live, please feel free to throw comments in. We would love to talk to you. I can't imagine GoldenEye 64. I mean, it set the bar. What would first-person shooter games be? And here's a better question: what first-person shooter game would have done it first, if not GoldenEye? Like, what was the next
great question?
What was the next big first-person shooter that was like, wow? I mean,
was it Unreal Tournament?
It might have been.
Counter-Strike. I would think Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, you could give it to Perfect Dark, but that was rare as well. So you could stand to reason that if they didn't pull the trigger on GoldenEye, they wouldn't have done it with Perfect Dark either. So who knows? Yeah,
crazy thought to think that GoldenEye 64 is a rail shooter. Even on the N64, how that would have worked. I'm assuming they probably released. Here's our answer. I've been waiting with bated breath here. Time Splitters was the first-person shooter the GoldenEye Perfect Dark team made after leaving Rare and forming Free Radical. See,
there you go.
Listen,
this guy.
Jack with the facts, man. It's Fact Jack, right? That's a terrible nickname. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, please. We just need Jack to be like our behind the scenes fact checker.
Yep.
So that when things go wrong, it's like, no, it's not. You guys were totally
holding
wrong.
up a sign just says wrong.
Holding up a sign that says disappointed. Disappointed.
See, all I can think of with this now is that if GoldenEye had been a rail shooter, it would have been violent Pokemon Snap. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I was not. I can't imagine it being a rail shooter. Dude. Rail shooters on consoles are terrible. Like,
so bad.
You ever played like House of the Dead on a console? Which, by the way, they're bringing to Switch. House of the Dead remake, which is or reboot. Those games are awesome. And dude, I still love a good Time Crisis game. Old pedal gun, like Halo did one. Fireteam Raven.
Yeah, Fireteam Raven.
They're fun. Not on console. Rail shooters.
Now I kind of want I want to go to like a Dave and Buster's with a bunch of vintage video games and play the GoldenEye rail shooter though. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody needs to just make this game.
Hey, I want you guys to Google something, because when I think of arcades and I think of fun games I used to play that you can't find anymore, guys, did anybody ever play the arm wrestling arcade game that it was like this machine? It was literally a big robot arm that was sticking out like this at all times, a piece of plastic. And I Googled it, not too long ago, and found it. I hadn't seen one in years, but it was like a robot arm, and you had to grab it, and literally you went up in difficulty of arm wrestling people, and on the screen it was just like some animated character going like taunting
no kidding.
you. But what was cool is is the higher you would get, the higher you would get in it. It would, the resistance on the arm would, like, I could never get past like level 3 or 4.
Wow, that's
it was
actually really cool.
It was really cool. I would love to play
guaranteed to find those at 100% of every CC's pizza.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Hit me.
What if Mega Man was Rock Man? Originally, during the Mega Man design, the character's name was the Rock Man in Japan. However, when it came to the US, the Gaming Society censored the name, as at the time, the term rock was mainly slang for crack cocaine. Hence the change.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, Mega Man released in 1987.
Did they change it?
Of drug war. I mean, it was.
Did they change anything about the game though, or literally just the name?
Well, they would have had to change something, because I think Rockman is Rockman an enemy? Isn't Rockman one of the? I gotta look that up now. I think Rockman is one of the original enemies.
Because if so, I mean, they had to change, like, I guess they had to change up his whole look and his weapon and everything. And I mean, gosh.
No. I think it's just it translated. I think whatever the Japanese name was for what we call Mega Man, translated to Rockman.
Sure.
And you couldn't call him.
Boy, that's a paranoid move by our government, though. Just because of it gets lost in translation. That happens to be a slang term for a drug. I know it was war on drugs, but like, sheesh, man, come on.
Right. So
like that was gonna help.
Yeah, like, hey, we can't have these kids playing Rockman.
That's right.
Yeah, because you know what kids are gonna think of when they hear Rockman? They're not gonna go out to their yard and grab something out of the dirt. They're gonna think, where can I go find my local drug dealer?
That's right. Here's some Craig.
Mega Man 1 ball says Bomb Man, Guts Man, Cut Man, Electric Man, Ice Man, Fireman. Guts Man is what I was thinking of.
Cut Man?
Cut.
Really?
Got scissors on his head, man?
Yeah,
Speaking of bad translations, man.
Cut Man.
Cut Man.
Yeah, so no, but Guts Man is what I was thinking of. He actually threw the rock, so it wasn't Rock Man, it was Guts Man. Yeah, so there you go. So Mega Man could have been called Rock Man. That one's not so great. We'll move on to the last one. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Okay, you ready? And I think this is my last one before we move the game. Yeah. Okay, here. What if Mario, NES Mario, had a gun? All right. Today, Super Mario Brothers seems so pixel perfect and genre defining, it's hard to believe that it didn't just spring straight from the minds of its creators, fully formed. Yet Super Mario Brothers, the sequel to Nintendo's less known 1983 game Mario Brothers, that's the one with the pipes and have to flip the turtles over and kick them around, was envisioned as a quite different game from the one that emerged in 1985. According to early design documents, Mario would have had a greater range of abilities such as rocket packs and a range of attacks from a punch to a gun. Now, he did have fireballs, right, in the original Mario. Sure. Can you imagine NES Mario
and Luigi into like actual gangsters?
Well, doing drive-bys all day.
We got Grand Theft Auto years later. I read further in the description is like it was going to be, so jump was going to be your up directional button, and you were literally going to run and shoot with your two A and B buttons. Which we got those games. We eventually got those games, but it being like Mario, that's
Jack says now we can fulfill this dream with Chris Pratt Mario.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. I'm gonna light you up.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the movie Free Guy, but with Chris Pratt playing Mario. That's the real secret to the Mario movie.
Bowser shows up to capture Peach, and Mario's like, "It's me, Mario."
Trevor, if you're listening to the podcast, he is holding a gun. That's what's happening right now.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah. Literally, yahoo!
So, I can't. Yeah, so I can't. But even the rocket pack, like Mario having a rocket pack, what would that even have? Think about how incredibly basic Super Mario Brothers
Did Luigi have like a baseball bat?
I don't know. I mean,
Luigi hit him with the bat.
What's funny is I saw this thing. So I pulled a bunch of video game facts. I was just going to do a video game fact, and then I did the multiverse thing. Anyway, the point is, so there was this Jack. It just would have been Contra. That's
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. So I read this thing. It was like, hey, if the game is called Super Mario Brothers, right, then that would insinuate that Mario's name is Mario.
As it was in the movie, mind you.
Luigi Mario and Mario.
It was. That's right. I totally forgot about that till just now. See, I was not a big fan of the Mario movie as a kid. I wasn't allowed to watch it because it looked too scary, according to my, Southern Baptist Christian parent.
It's a nostalgia movie for sure. But the funny thing is,
Ren and Stimpy and like The Simpsons was
so that was too scary. But 89 Batman, totally fine.
89 Batman. So fun fact. 89 Batman and Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I used to watch. I stayed with this kid named Rob when I was a kid, and he had a babysitter, and his parents had all the VHS tapes. Which I think back now, like what cool parents. His parents were so cool. His parents were like in South Alabama, and his dad was like in the timber industry. I think his mom worked at the bank. Where did they get these tapes? Like who had Roger? Maybe they bought them for him, but we were kids, like little kids. Anyway, we watched all those movies there. We weren't allowed. My house is very weird, except I was able to watch Rocko's Modern Life. And if you've ever watched Rocko's Modern Life, that
not
show
for children.
Is not for children.
Naughty.
There's a superhero called Really, Really Big Man, and his power is he has his nipples of the future, where his nipples explode out of his super suit, suck to your eyes, and show you your future.
Man, that's family fun for everyone.
Similar time.
The 90s, right?
Tell you what, man,
it was crazy times. So there you go. We will have to do this segment again. Okay. I had so many more I could choose from, but ladies and gentlemen, this has been
Games from the Multiverse.
There we go. We'll revisit it and do it another time. All right. We definitely will.
Was that the Batman theme, by the way? It sounded like it.
Oh, man.
It's me.
Hey, man. Our man Jeff.
Mario.
Our man Jeff watching on YouTube said, yeah, almost as bad as Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yes, Courage is just as bad.
So bad. Not for kids at all.
Not to mention Cow and Chicken, who one of the characters is literally Satan with a bare bottom. It's just a bunch. There's a bunch of butt in that show, man. There's a lot of rear in that show. It is.
Powerpuff Girls, you had a very effeminate devil too. So
you did
the kind of things that affected us as children.
Yeah. Another banger. Another banger. Cat Dog.
I forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls was bop though.
Powerpuff Girls was awesome.
Let's be real.
Listen. No shame, man. You just watch Powerpuff Girls all the time.
No, that show was awesome.
All the time, man. So good.
Who's your favorite Powerpuff Girls?
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm a oh my God.
Red, blue, or green, man.
Using their ultra superpowers.
Bubbles and Buttercup. I was a Buttercup.
And Buttercup.
I was a Buttercup.
Yeah. Have dedicated their lives.
See, I thought Buttercup. She had the attitude, man. She had the attitude.
So, I was definitely a Bubbles guy.
I thought that was good.
Hey, we got all three represented here. How about
we
that?
do? Don't we?
I love it.
Halloween's coming up. We should do it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all Powerpuff Girls for Halloween. I'll do it. I'll do it, man.
I'll do it too.
Hey, I'll have a bob.
I have a pillowcase.
Yeah, man. What?
I'll find myself a red wig.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I have a pillowcase. I have paint blue.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I was trying to picture you with blonde hair. I don't know. Okay, listen. That's neither here nor there. Hey, I have a brand new game for us to play tonight. I'm so excited about it. It's a little game that we're going to call Parental Advisory. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Parental Advisory works like this, all right? We all know that the ESRB protects all of us out there and our children and families from all the horrible things that are out there in video games, right? They've been doing this since the early 2000s, all right? Maybe even in the late 90s, back when Al Gore and his wife Tipper and all the other senators and congressmen were like, hey, we can't have people out here playing, what was the game that did it? Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat was one of the big games that did it. And so now the ESRB rates all of our games. And the great thing is that on the ESRB website, they give you a detailed description of why they... a spoiler-laden sometimes description of why they rated these games M for mature or whatever else they decide to do. And so I'm going to read you the description, okay?
Excited.
And then I'm going to have you guess the game, okay?
Cool.
I have a game as a trial run here, okay? This first game is like a trial run. Okay. And so I'm going to read it out to you and you see if you can get it. This is not rated M for mature.
Is it Contra?
Okay? Well, you can't guess right now. I haven't even started reading the thing. And by the way, there were no ratings when Contra came out. Okay, here we go. Here's the description. This is just a little test here. Play along if you're watching in chat. Players punch, kick, and perform super attacks, example, giant laser blasts, rocket barrages, against cartoony opponents to knock them off platforms. A handful of characters also use swords, blasters, mallets, and firearms while fighting. Battles can be frenetic at times, with screen shaking effects and large explosions. During the course of the game, players can unlock 2D character art that depicts female characters in revealing outfits. Example, short skirts, deep cleavage, low-cut tops. One character emits flatulence gas clouds to attack opponents.
Got it.
All right. Would anybody just take a guess at what this game is?
I think it's Castle Crashers, isn't it?
No, I'm thinking it's got to be a Mortal Kombat game. I'm thinking of Bo Raicho with the flatulence.
Oh man. Both of you,
is it a Mortal Kombat game?
both of you guys are wrong. All right. That's not right. That's not right. This game was rated E10. E for everyone. A fighting game, E10, E for everyone. This game
Is this
would
a
be
Tekken game?
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. That is the
Well,
ESR. That is the
well,
ESRB rating.
Hang on.
That
Go
is-
back to the part about females and
Where's
whatever.
the skimply clad?
During the course of the game,
Uh-huh.
okay, players can unlock 2D character art that depicts female characters in revealing outfits. Example: short skirts, short skirts, deep cleavage, and low cut tops. I mean,
See,
I don't know. I
I
haven't
feel
seen
like I must be missing it somewhere.
All right.
I haven't seen that.
It must be like a secret thing.
All right, here we go. Here's your first real
Easter
one.
egg.
Here's your first real one. Are you ready?
Easter eggs.
Okay, shut up. Here's your first one. Play along at home if you want. Players use pistols, shotguns, rocket launchers, and chainsaws to kill mutant enemies and demonic creatures. Large blood splatter effects occur frequently as enemies get decapitated and/or dismembered during combat. A handful of sequences depict mutilated corpses with exposed organs, viscera strewn in the environment.
Dear God.
Some attacks result in finishing sequences that depict intense acts of violence. Players using a chainsaw to slice open an enemy's head, players ripping the heart out of a creature and shoving it in its mouth, players sticking a gun in a creature's mouth and pulling the trigger.
Is this Dead Rising? Or
It's Doom. It's got to be Doom
Doom?
2016, man.
Oh man, it is 100% Doom. It is Doom. It is
Okay.
Doom 2016.
Nice
Rated
going,
M for
Jeff.
Sure, very good. Oh yeah, Jeff with the Doom. Yes,
Nice.
absolutely, it was Doom.
How about-
Okay, you guys are pretty
sounded
good.
like Dead Rising. No, I just want to throw that out there.
That's fair.
Remember
the,
Dead
the-
Rising?
oh yeah, the zombie. Dude, that game is so hard.
The third person.
Yeah, the third
Yeah.
person, dude.
Yep.
All those
Zombies
games
in the mall.
ultra difficult. All right, especially that first one is very. The first one's the most fun, but it's the most difficult.
Couldn't you get a like a cheat code for a Mega Man blaster?
Yes,
in
you
that,
could.
in that game.
Mhm.
There's
Sure
lots
could.
of things you could do.
A
in that game.
Rockman blaster.
A Rockman blaster. Here we go. This next game is described as this, as the ESRB. Characters use firearms, explosives, and traps to kill human enemies. Gunfights can be frenetic and are highlighted by cries of pain, explosions, realistic gunfire, and blood splatter effects. Cutscenes also depict instances of violence, an explosion that kills two characters, a man shot in slow motion. During the course of the game, some stages depict bags of cocaine on tables/counters.
Is this Mario Brothers?
No, it's Rockman.
It's Rockman. It's Rockman.
The original Super Mario
That's
Brothers.
what they're afraid of, man.
I was gonna go for like Gears of War or something until you said crack.
Yeah, which leads me to believe it's either a GTA game or I might have missed something in like a Call of Duty game.
So I'm going to read it again. None of those are right.
Oh.
Characters
Okay.
use firearms, explosives, and traps to kill
Mhm.
human enemies. Gunfights can be frenetic, blah, 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 blah. During the course of the game, some stages depict bags of cocaine on tables and counters.
Rainbow Six. Vegas.
Oh, that's not a bad guess, Trev.
Mm.
Yeah, let's go with Rainbow Six.
I'm going to give it to you for Rainbow Six. It's Rainbow Six Siege. All right,
Oh,
Rainbow
okay.
Six
Yes.
Siege. So, okay. I should have done more of these. I only have one more, but I can always pull up the ESRB website.
I like it. I like it.
I feel like this podcast has been so short but so fun.
It's
feel like
so much
I
fun.
feel like we need maybe a video game 20.
We're having fun.
We are having
We are
lots
having
of fun. All right. Okay. Listen, if you have children that are watching this, or if you are listening to this later and you have children in the car, this is not explicit, but but I have to say the quote from this game,
Careful now.
and it's a little sexual because it's just funny. So no swearing, no overly awful things, but I just want to be super sensitive to people who are like, because I had somebody ask me like, "Oh, is your podcast good for kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, we never say anything that's not great for kids, except
Yeah.
Trevor."
Well, yeah, sure. Checks out.
Yeah, here we go. So just you've been warned. Characters use swords, axes, hammers, and magic attacks to kill fantastical creatures. Example, demons, monsters, dwarfs, and humans in melee-style combat. Cutscenes sometimes depict characters impaled or getting their throats slit. Violent sequences are often highlighted by cries of pain, gurgling, gushing sounds, and large blood splatter effects. Blood remains on the ground in several environments. The game includes some sexual material with quotes such as, "I will bring myself sexual pleasure later while thinking about this with great respect."
Oh, no, it's Dragon Age.
It is Dragon Age. It is very sad that you knew that it is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Dude, I had it at you kill fantastical monsters and also dwarfs.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Dragon
You went
Age
down to
Inquisition.
Orzammar, man.
So I gave you some
Love
easy ones.
or-
So here's the thing.
Yeah,
I got to
love
be
it.
honest. Every time we do this, I have like this. I don't want to give you guys games that are too hard that you've never ever played, right? I think they're,
Right.
but I feel like I'm making them too easy. I feel like
You got to reach into the bag a little deeper. Something we haven't played in a while.
well, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we got two of those wrong.
I would say what?
We got two of those wrong.
I
We
mean,
got one wrong.
I mean, yeah, you got one wrong, but I'll let you guess multiples on the.
I got three of them wrong. I think you only got one, buddy.
Okay,
That's fair. I did get the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, what time is it? We've been podcasting 37 minutes. We got a few minutes left. Can we do a quick game of video game? 20 questions? Should we do it?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's go for it.
Eric
Well-
should do it.
Yeah. Do you have a game that you can look up, Eric, or something that you can like?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll make small talk while you look up a Wikipedia page of a video game. And,
Now
and
here's
then-
the question, Will.
yes,
We talked about shows that
Mhm.
our parents didn't let us, consume.
yes.
Let's talk about video games. Did you ever bring home a video game from Blockbuster? And your mom was like, "What
Well,
is this?"
I grew up in South Alabama, so we didn't have Blockbusters. We had
Hollywood
We
Video.
had movie galleries. And so no, I'm trying to think of a game I ever brought home. No, my parents didn't really watch me like a hawk once I got into high school and like in the gaming world. I do know. So funny story talking about the ESRB. My friend brought over. I had a neighbor named Rex. Cool name, right?
Yeah, my name's Rex. I've got M-rated
I think
games.
it's the only Rex I've ever known in my entire life. Rex was my neighbor, super cool kid, older than me, and he brought over the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat, which the original Mortal Kombat, and my parents were pissed. But what you got to understand, the Super Nintendo version had no blood. The Super Nintendo version was so toned down
Really?
that it wasn't even. Yeah, the
kidding.
Genesis version had blood. The Super Nintendo version had like gray sweat that would happen when you would punch people.
Ew.
Hey, I think. Hey, while you're looking up the game, you guys talk much. I think someone's at the door, and my wife and your wife are out somewhere. I think so.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So just keep talking. I'll be right back.
Eric, speaking of
Gray sweat.
gray sweat.
Remind me, I got to send you a picture later. It made me think of something that Mike sent me, but I can't talk about it on the show.
If Mike sent it to you. I'm not sure if I want to see it. I was just gonna say, it's interesting to me that on Super Nintendo, Mortal Kombat was so tame, but then you had a game like Killer Instinct, which was not so tame, and that's what Jeff and I. Oh, see, I literally just looked down and saw Jeff's comment about Killer Instinct.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Killer
a
Instinct,
weird.
Jeff, I think it did have blood and gore, but you'd probably know better than me.
It was an odd time because you didn't really know where the line was with anything.
Yeah,
You just
sure.
knew what pissed off the parents back in the 90s, and Mortal Kombat was really the one
It was
that
mostly
got
Dungeons
kicked
and
in the-
Dragons. Let's be real.
Yeah. My cousin had Killer Instinct, and it was. I thought was the cart for Killer Instinct was black. Remember the cart was black for Killer Instinct.
Oh, you're right.
So good.
Okay, go ahead, Eric.
Not sorry. I just want to say not making an appearance on the podcast tonight because we don't have the mic set up, but. Our friend Ryan
Part
Miller
of our live audience.
Part of our
Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller just walked in.
So
here
handsome.
to this. Yeah, he's here, baby.
Yeah, you said he wasn't making an appearance. There
Oh,
he is.
handsome.
He made an appearance. All right.
I wish you guys on the podcast could see him.
Yeah. I mean,
he's so handsome.
he's a handsome guy. All right. Jeff says he's got the cart right now. Absolutely, you do.
Yes.
Okay, Eric, you got your video game, right?
I have it. Wikipedia's pulled up right here.
All right.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. It's
Wikipedia.
the version of
Spoiler, I picked Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. That's we should know.
You first, buddy.
Okay, cool. I was going to give it to you, but if you're going to pass it on to me, okay, here we go. I want to ask: was this game made or published or created or whatever you want to call it, released? Probably the better word. Was this game released after January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Okay, that's usually the case with us. We don't go retro a lot. We should go retro more.
Was this game released before 2010?
Yes, it was. That's another theme for us, by the way.
We always
we pick 2001 to 2010 all the time.
It's a great era for gaming.
Back. All right. Okay. So was this game a console exclusive?
Yes, it was.
Ooh. Guess the console.
Was this a PlayStation game?
No.
Was this an Xbox game?
No.
Okay. We're Nintendo.
We're going Nintendo world.
But if it's 2010, is it Wii or is it GameCube? Got to be GameCube. Which I'm gonna be of no use to you here. Okay, let's keep going.
It's you.
It's me, right?
It's you.
What question are we at?
You are on question 5.
Chat, feel free to throw questions in. Question 5. So I would say, is this game part of a series?
So officially, no. This game, it did have a reappearance much later on, but there were no official titles published after this one.
That's a big clue.
That is a big
That's
clue.
a big clue. That's a free clue. Thank you for that.
Yeah. So I
had to be specific because there is some nuance to that answer.
Sure.
So it's a game that either got re-released, remastered, or had like a like an homage release, like something that was like, oh yeah, this is kind of like it, but not it. Interesting. All right,
okay. Excellent. Is this a single player game?
Yes, it is. Question 6.
Okay, single player. Okay. Was this game published in America?
By that, do you mean that the
so if it's made by like Capcom, Konami, one of those, because they were huge in the early 2000s.
Development take place in the United States.
Yeah, because development didn't take place in the U.S.
At the time, yes.
At the time,
yes. I will say this: the developer moved out of the United States at some point after this game came out.
Oh, that's why they had to release it under a different name. It was illegal.
Okay.
Okay. We're on to something.
Here goes. So single player game, originally developed in America. They don't develop anymore. And they had like a re-release or some kind of homage title come out afterwards.
Is this a third-person game?
Yes, it is.
So this got to be like a third-person adventure type game. Was Rare one of those companies? He's a big Rare guy. Was Rare one of those companies that like started here and moved?
That I don't know. That's a
because I can't think of any publisher that started here and then moved.
I think we gotta start nailing down genre.
Okay, and we gotta hurry because we have an escape room to
maybe
go
ask about weapons.
Let's see. No, I didn't ask about weapons. Let's just keep this moving. Is this game violent?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. In the spirit of the game we played earlier, is this an M-rated game?
I would have to check, but my gut tells me it would have had to be.
Okay, cool. Is this a
single player, third person,
M-rated, violent? Is this a shooter?
Officially, it is not a shooter. There is a shooting element later in the game, but it is not a core mechanic of the game.
Ah,
okay.
So cool. Like a melee or
okay. Go ahead and ask your question. I have another question.
Okay. Is this a sci-fi game?
Again, there's an element which sci-fi takes place, but primarily it is not a sci-fi game.
Okay. Is this a horror game?
No.
Okay. Well, I was going to guess Resident Evil 4, but I mean they've made other Resident Evils, but they've re-released 4 a few times. Okay.
I was kind of.
Go ahead. What question are we on?
That was question 11. You are on 12.
11. We're on 12. We're not going to get this. Keep going. We can get it. I'm feeling the pressure time-wise.
Metal Gear.
No, Metal Gear. They've had releases. I mean,
series.
Yeah, it's a series. This is something that it's not part of a series. I'm assuming it was a one-off that they like re-released.
Yes, this is something weird, isn't it?
Yeah, well, not so weird, but you're not. It doesn't jump to the
If anybody watching in the chat has any guesses and wants to help, please feel free to jump
Jack.
in.
Jack.
Okay. All right, you're going.
Is this a Is this an open world game?
In the spirit of what open world is, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't choose in which direction or in what order you do things. No.
Okay. It's third person, but hang on. Is this a
Single player
third person? But third person could also be like a platformer game. Is this a platforming game?
I believe yes. Under the official description, it is a platform game.
A very violent rated M GameCube platform game. No, not vulgar.
I feel like if Jack is still watching, he's probably tuned into what I'm thinking now.
Jeff says so chat questions.
Yeah, Jeff
technically don't count, but he said,
is this a side scroller
beat 'em up?
It is not. And that is not an official question. So you are still on question 14.
So platformer, super violent video game. Is it your go?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Do you play as a superhero in this game?
No, you do not.
Okay.
What question is that?
That was 14. So after your question, we'll start getting hints.
Right, cool. Is this game based on a license? Like, is it licensed after anything like movies or television or anything like that?
No, it is an intellectual property for the developer.
Okay.
So your first clue, you assumed it's GameCube. I never said it was.
Oh, crap.
Is it? Oh, it's a Dreamcast game?
I don't know.
Is this?
It could be original. It could. Well, he said no Xbox, no PlayStation. I said GameCube. It could be Wii.
Was this a Wii game?
It was not. And your hint after question 16, this was actually Nintendo 64.
Oh, okay. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I've been completely.
Yeah, we've been heading in the wrong direction.
You've been running down rabbit trails with this one. I just want to get that out early.
Rated M game. Okay, hang on. Wait, stop. Rated M game, third person platformer.
Ask a question, Jack. Help us out.
Violent game. Third. Okay, no, we got this. Third person kind of platformer. Shooting's a part of it.
I feel like we only had like 4 games growing up on N64. So
yeah,
I'm racking my brain here.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to figure out like what it could be. But it had a re-release. Remember, he said it came back.
Not part of the series, but had a re-release of a different name, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this a rare game?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's question 17. And your hint for question 17 is this game was officially re-released and or remastered under a different title on the original Xbox.
Oh, interesting.
This isn't like Turok, is it?
Do you kill dinosaurs in this game? No, it's a first person.
No.
It's a first person game.
But he had to think about it. He had to think about the dinosaur question.
Do you want to re-ask that question since you were headed down a different path there, Trev?
No, that was my question.
No. So what number were you at?
That was question number 18. Your hint is the main character is not human, nor is it humanoid.
It's not humanoid.
Oh, crap. Is this like a
Jack? Give us a question.
Was there like a Jurassic Park game or something like that?
You're not human or humanoid.
So you're like an animal, or like a wolf.
I mean,
Wolfmungus? Is it Wolfmungus for N64?
First of all, okay. Jeff is saying Conker's Bad Fur Day, but I don't think that'd be considered violent and rated M. Is that rated M?
Ask a question.
Are you?
Do you play as a wolf?
Well, no. I mean, do you play as an animal?
Yes, you do. That is question 19. Your final hint on this one is this game borrowed heavily in referential material, basically meaning that every phase of the game referenced a different part of pop culture, whether it be film or comics or something of that nature.
Oh God, I think it's got to be Conker's Bad Fur Day. I mean, maybe I don't. I never played that.
Okay, so I got one more question.
You got one more question that we can guess. Yeah.
Do you play as a werewolf in this game?
No, you do not.
Okay. I mean, do you want to go Conker's Bad Fur Day since that's what's in chat? Is it Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Jeff to the rescue. It is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Jeff.
We get no points.
Jeff.
We get no points.
Conker's Bad Fur Day was officially re-released on Xbox as Conker Live and Reloaded. It was also borrowed as its own little one-off, like 4-hour campaign on an Xbox something or another. It's just a download. But yes, it was very violent. There was blood, there was guts, and it was definitely rated M for language and other things.
I gotta play this. Jack said there was an entire Matrix vignette in Conker.
That's
no kidding.
There was so much that was borrowed in Conker, and you watch like
Amazing.
developer interviews today. They said there's no way that game would get made today. It was the perfect game for the perfect time. But it is on Xbox, the store, for like $10. Go download Conker Live
Right
and
now,
Reloaded.
go get it.
Yeah, download it. Thank me later.
Definitely gonna play that game.
Yeah, that sounds super fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, hey man, that's all the time we got for tonight.
Great job,
Eric,
Eric,
thanks so much for being with us, dude. Great job. Conker's Bad Fur Day is like what a great choice, man. What a great choice.
You underestimate our intelligence.
I do love Rare. You were right about that.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured it was Rare, but I was trying to rack my brain of like what games did Rare make but Conker's Bad Fur Day. No idea. Thank you for everybody in chat who helped us out tonight. So glad to have you. Thanks for Ryan for supporting us off screen.
Woo!
Thanks, Ryan. And, hey, that's all the time we got. We'll see everybody next week right here on the 4 Plot Podcast.
We love you.
See you later.
Woo!